Greetings! Today we're going to take a ride right into the heart of Galloway Forest, and specifically down Raiders Road. It's about a 10-mile ride starting from Clatteringshaws and ending on the banks of Loch Ken at the other side. It's a peaceful, remote location, but it's steeped with a colourful history. And because there's a couple of bikes in my garage, it was only natural that I decided to take the adventure bike. But before we disappear into the forest, there's something hiding in this landscape that you might not expect. But before we get going, the first thing we need to do is pay. So it's essentially a toll road, this. It's only £3. That should do. £3 bargain. You're f***ing littering. Jesus. So they've actually moved the pay station from when I was here last, because it used to be pretty much here on the left hand side, and it's now at the start of the road. I did notice there was a couple of options, one for staying overnight. Now I thought, and I'll check this and put the caption in the screen, but I thought you weren't allowed to stay here overnight. I thought it was sort of exempt from, well, no one could stop you wild camping, don't get me wrong, but if you wanted to bring a camper van down here, you were generally moved on. And I know the gates are locked at night, and the reason I know that is because I used to work in the vehicle recovery business, and I've been called out here in the middle of the night to cars that have decided to use it as a rally stage and got caught out. And I've had to meet the forest ranger to open the gates to get me in, get a recovery truck to winch stuff out of ditches at the side of this road. It's an absolutely beautiful place to be. Now this is where the monkey starts to make a lot of sense. Now Raiders Road is a two-way street, if you like, so you should expect traffic coming in the opposite direction. And when you're in peak tourist season, which we are in now, it can get quite busy. I've been coming down here for years. We used to take the kids down to Otter Pool, which is almost smack bang in the middle of it, which is great for a little bit of swimming or taking a barbecue or just a picnic. So the road is essentially running parallel with the black water of Dee. You should be able to just see it through the trees there. Now the black water of Dee gets its name from the peat in the area around it, and hence the colour of the water looks really dark.
But as you can see, there's loads of little lay-bys and stop-offs. That barbecue smells absolutely awesome, by the way. Where you can stop off and, you know, pitch up for the day. Now, what I've tended to do with my family is when we come down is we head for the bit in the middle, which is called Otter Pool.
So there you have it, I stand corrected. You can stay here over the night. There's a £10 charge. Fires and barbecues are not permitted. So there used to be some barbecues, brick-built barbecues, and you could actually have a barbecue, but I'm guessing with all the wildfires over the past couple of years, they've got rid of them. So they still have the barbecue plates. But it is a great place for swimming. I think that's the only otter I'm going to spot all afternoon. So it's worth noting there are otters here, but I've never seen one. And it is teeming with wildlife. There's red kites, there's a lot of snakes around, there's a lot of adders, and the place is plagued with deer. Right, onward. So that was Otter Pool. I'm just noticing the flag on the way out that says high risk of fires. So no fires and no barbecue, so that's what the confusion is with me. To be fair, a bit of common sense would tell you, with the amount of, or the lack of rain that we've had in the past few weeks, although it's currently raining, that it's probably not a good idea to have a fire or a barbecue. So here we are in the middle of the UK's longest drought and highest ever recorded temperatures. And here we are in southwest Scotland with me freezing my nuts off and trying to avoid rain clouds. This is very pleasant, I have to tell you. So the road is originally a drover's road, so it was for transporting cattle and hiding them from, I don't know, the next clan that was going to nick all your cattle, I suppose. But today, obviously, it's a tourist trail, but it still serves as a live forestry commission road, so essentially for felling these trees for the sale of timber. So occasionally you do see quite a lot of timber felling activity going on in the area with lorries coming through, but normally they would cut through elsewhere, and you can see the remnants of trails where they've done that in the past. And it's funny because you sometimes come down places like here and there's a mass felling gone on and the whole landscape changes. It's quite dramatic.
trees then. Now there is quite a lot of deer activity in these woods, so you do have to be careful for them running out in front of you, which I have had several times. I've had them in the car down here with the kids, which is great to see, but on a bike it's a little bit more of a frightening experience. Especially if you're on a gravel road like this.
So as we come a bit further round the road, the river meets the loch, so this is Stroan Loch. Some great spots for camping, I must admit. That's not a bad place to spend the day, is it? I wish I'd brought my swimming trunks. Stick that on a thumbnail. Now, while some of the wildlife can be very difficult to spot, such as otters and adders, there is quite a usual sighting around here of an animal I like to call the bellend. And here you can see evidence of such bellend. And here we have bellend's drink of choice. Some significant bellend activity in this area. Yes, indeed, bellends are well known for setting fires to shit they shouldn't do.
Now then, tucked away at the bottom towards the end of Raiders Road is this little gem.
So there's another layer of history here. This landscape was once crossed by a Victorian railway. This is Stroan Viaduct. And that, boys and girls, brings us to the end of Raiders Road. So we'll finish here on the banks of Loch Ken. We've gone from a 1930s hydroelectric dam, along the black water of Dee, onto Otter's Pool, and then a Victorian railway. And whilst we didn't manage to see any otters, there was plenty of signs of the lesser spotted bellend activity in the area. Raiders Road might only be 10 miles long, but it's well worth a visit.